Shalom, Kohalo Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim Kodash. Double honors to the elder apostles of GMS, including the elders that came before them that taught us His truth. Shalom and salutations to all the brothers that push in word of truth and in sincerity, the hopeful elect tabernacle of David. I'm the brother Yahshua, and back with the WW3 Daily update. First one for this week. All right, and we're going to get into the chariots. All right, real quick, and then get out. All right. So we'll start right here. This is World War III. Joel 3:9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. We're watching that right now. In Afghanistan, in the surrounding area. Russia's on the border of Afghanistan. China is going into Afghanistan. America's going back to clean up the mess that they made. Everybody is being drawn down there. All right. What is Iran or the Persians doing? This is them right here. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. That means get your gardening tools, melt them down, and use the metals, turn them into weapons of war. What is Iran? Does Iran have a nuclear weapon or not? Who's to say? Let the weak, who's the weak? Iran's weak. If they don't have a nuclear weapon, they're weak. Let the weak say what? I have a nuke. I am strong. All right? Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, all the armies of the world, right? And gather yourselves together round about. Okay? This is what's going on. All right? Now we get into something different. All right? This line right here. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. So God is gathering all the armies of the world. Right here, he's telling his army, the angels, the archangels, the one you call Jesus Christ ignorantly, whose name is Yahushua. He's telling them to get ready to spring the ambush. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. Okay? Because they're going to get into the fight too. World War III is going to be part celestial. All right? Here's Satan and his angels. And this is Michael and his angels. Okay? Again, Satan and his blue angels. This is Michael and his angels. All right? The gods, if you will. Okay? Now, thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. Let's take a look. Let's go here. And let's take a look at this. What is that? Blow it up. Okay? What is it? This right here is a cloud, an actual cloud. But what is this huge thing right here? Let's back it up. All right, here we go from the top. It says 3,000-mile wide disk caught by the International Space Station. 3,000-mile wide, hovering over the earth.
This image was released by the Brasilia Planetarium recently and seems to show a massive disc-shaped object stationed above the Earth. The disk is estimated to be around 3,000 to 5,000 miles in diameter. If you look at the bottom left of the image, you can see a cloud formation passing over the top of the anomaly. This indicates that the object is not a projection onto the Earth. We have no idea what this object is.
This is the cloud passing over. This belongs to the disk itself. Salakia for that. So here you have what they would call a UFO. All right. But in the Bible, they tell you exactly what they are. All right. Now, what does this remind you of? All right. All right. Let's see. Reminds me of a movie. Let's see. And what do we have in this movie? What do we have in this movie? Let's see. Because you have fighter jets in the movie, right? You have UFOs in the movie. You have a giant one like we just saw right there. So what is that movie really saying? See the clouds? The clouds were cloaking the spaceship before it came out. And every eye shall see. Wait a minute. That looks curiously like it curiously looks like that. Does it not? Where'd they get the idea from the movie? Now, this is purported to be real. If the International Space Station, this is a cloud right here going over. Okay. If this is the International Space Station, and this is a shadow of the cloud, I guess. There's the cloud. This is the cloud. And they call these chariots, they call them clouds. All right, in the scriptures. All right. And there was a cloud that shut Noah on Noah's Ark. A cloud came down and shut the door on Noah's Ark. I just read that the other day. It was awesome. All right, so you see that, huh? Let's get every eye right here. This is Revelation 1. This is right out of the movie. This is the second coming of who you call Jesus Christ, whose name is Yahushua. Revelation 1 and 7. Behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him. Did we just see that in the movie? All right. Let's get this real quick. We'll just jump straight to it. This is Psalm 104. Bless the Lord, O my soul. O Lord my God, thou art very great, who covers thyself with light as with a garment, who layeth the beams of his chambers in the water, who maketh the clouds his chariot, who walketh upon the wings of the wind, who maketh his angels spirits, his ministers a flaming fire. The clouds are the chariots. Okay? Let's get a picture of some chariots here. You type this in and see what it does. How about this? UFOs over White House. Remember that? Spell it right. We'll go to images. What do we have? Uh-oh. Look at them. They try to take them away. Where's the real? Here's one. See that? This is real. Washington, D.C., July 12, 1952. Okay? See that? This actually transpired back then. Okay? And what is this? We just saw this in the movie. So they know what's going on. They're just not telling you. All right? Or how about the Battle of Los Angeles? Let's get that real quick. The Battle of Los Angeles. The Libre Tarpets of Los Angeles. Okay, and we're in images. This is an actual picture, right? And let's see, in this one you can actually see it. You see this right here? They got the searchlights on it, and right there, that's the chariot right there. Anyway, and these are actual pictures that go way back. 1942. All right. Now, what did I want to get in the scripts? Oh, let's get this. 2 Kings. Let's get the name of these things. 2. 2 Kings 2 and 11. And it came to pass, as they still went on and talked, that behold, there appeared a chariot of fire and horses of fire, and parted them both asunder. And Elijah went up by a whirlwind into heaven. And Elisha saw it, and he cried, my father, the chariot of Israel. There's the name of the so-called UFOs right there. Elijah got beamed up. Okay? He got beamed up into a chariot of Israel. All right? Now, we go back to Joel, and the angels are in those things. Let's go to Ezekiel real quick. Let's get the angels. Ezekiel 1. It starts at 5. 4. And I looked, and behold, a whirlwind. Elijah went up by a what? A whirlwind came out of the north. A great what? Cloud, letting you know that it's a chariot. And a fire enfolding itself, and a brightness was about it. Out of the midst of the fire, as the color of amber, out of the midst of the fire. Also out of the midst of the fire came the likeness of 4 living creatures. Were they little green men with bug eyes? No. And this was their appearance. What did they look like? They had the likeness of a man. Talking about the angels that are in those chariots. Plain and simple. There's no you in the FOs. There's no unidentified in the flying. We just identified them. All right? and they sparkled like the color of burnished brass. They had dark brown skin like I do. Okay, simple. Just like the one you ignorantly called Jesus Christ. And they sparkled like the color of burnished brass. Let's get the description of Jesus, whose name is Yahushua. Burnished brass, huh? It says, and I turned to see the voice that spake with me, and being turned, I saw. He can tell you what he saw. His head and his hairs were white like wool. He had an afro. What color was his afro? As white as snow. All right. And his feet like unto fine brass as if they burned. That's called burnished brass. He looked just like the angels did. That's when the thumbs down come out. When the truth comes out come the thumbs down. Okay. Let's get one more description of Christ, just so. It doesn't mean that. It doesn't mean that. His feet were dirty. Okay. This is Daniel. You know, God had an afro. God has an afro too. Let's get that real quick. Daniel 7 and 9. I beheld until the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit. Who's the Ancient of Days? Yahweh, the Most High, God, whose garment was white as snow, and the hair of his head like the pure pure wool. And he was in a UFO too. His throne was like the fiery flame, and his wheels as burning fire. He was in a chariot, and a fiery stream issued and came forth from before him. That's a laser coming out of his chariot. Thousands ministered. Who are thousands? Thousands. Angels ministered unto him, and 10,000 times 10,000 stood before him, the elect of Israel. Okay? And then, 13, I saw in the night visions, and behold, one like unto the Son of Man. Who's that? That's the one you ignorantly called Jesus Christ, whose name is Yahushua. Came with what? Came with the clouds of heaven, and came to the Ancient of Days. So they're not the same person. Jesus is not God. He's the Son of God, and God is a separate entity. And they brought him near before him. Who's they? The angels, the thousands of thousands. Let's get the thousands. Thousands what? Thousands of angels. That's not the one I want. Thousands. We can get it. But ye are coming to Mount Zion, and unto the city of the living God, the heavenly Jerusalem, and to an innumerable company of angels. You have come to thousands upon thousands of angels. All right? This is Daniel 10. One more description of who you ignorantly called Jesus Christ, the original angry black man. Start at 5. Then I lifted up my eyes and looked, and behold, a certain man clothed in linen, whose loins were girded with fine gold of Uphaz. His body also was like the beryl, in his face as the appearance of lightning, and his eyes as lamps of fire, and his arms and his feet. So his arms were dirty too, right? Like in color to polished brass. Here's this color right here. Images. Here's this color. As if it burned. Brass as if it burned in a furnace. When you purify something, polish it. See that brown? Okay. It is what it is. As if they burned in a furnace. Let's not forget that. Oh, it's gold! It's gold! Throw it in the fire. His arms and his feet. That was his color. Okay? Plain and simple. All right. So who's in these crafts? The angels. What do they look like? They look like me. They have the likeness of a man. So you pretty much get the gist of what's being said when you find out that, oh, God is black and Jesus is black. What are they coming back to do? Well, they're coming back to pass judgment. On who? This is Joel 3 and 2. I will gather the armies of the world into the valley of Jehoshaphat. There will I judge them for harming my people. Who are God's people? Well, they're the Israelites. Jesus was an Israelite from the tribe of Judah. The tribe of Judah has dark brown skin. Right? I won't get it. Let's get it. Jeremiah 14 and 2. Judah, the Jews, are in mourning, and the gates thereof languish. They are Quadar. They are Quadar. All right, the Hebrew word there is Quadar, means dark skin. Unto the ground. What color is the ground? It's rich brown. It doesn't mean that. Sure it does. All right. Let's go back to Joel. I will gather the armies of the world into the valley of Jehoshaphat, which means the Middle East. There will I judge them for harming my people. Who's his people? My people, Israel. Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, Seminole Indians, and the speckled bird. All right. Let's elaborate on this one more time. For harming my people and dividing up my land, and for throwing dice to figure out who's going to be their slaves. Who did become their slaves. All right. All right. So with that being said, we've established what's actually going on. World War III is an ambush for the angels to destroy the armies of the world. Why? For what they did to God's people, the nation of Israel, for harming my people, my special possession. Who? Okay. Who are his people? The nation of Israel. My people, Israel. All right, so we'll look at some current events, and then we'll go ahead and close it out. Go to Deep Journal. 17 hours ago, breaking. Pakistani airstrike hits Afghan resistance in Panjshir. So now Pakistan is getting in. 22 hours, breaking. Russian missile. Russia hits 21 Israeli missiles. Woo! Taliban supply lines and tanks have been destroyed after they sold some of them to Iran. This is one day ago. Okay, we saw this. I think I saw that. All right, let's go to Deep Journalist. Anything new? No, a week ago. Nothing new. I know that. What's that carrier pigeon? Let's check out carrier pigeon here. One day ago, Afghanistan's last bastion fell. U.S. aircraft carriers are terrifying. Wow. So they're bombing offshore. Or they're sending out these Blue Angels. One day ago, massive sabotage in Syria, toxic substance spreads. Russian missile exploded over. This is depicting World War III in action. Secret Files 333, my fave. 1 hour ago, Israel's alarmist claims raised the stakes against Iran. 3 hours ago, Taliban surrounds Panjshir Valley as resistance holds. 18 hours. Who sponsors anti-Taliban? And here's the United States paying the Taliban, right, for the refugees. Okay, this is money for taking over your country and killing people. But they're also paying the Taliban for fighting for them. Biden authorizes 500 million in aid relief to Afghan refugees. It's a day ago. Taliban's selling U.S. arms to Iran. Okay. It says U.S. military equipment left behind. No, they gifted it to them, right? And they paid them. Where's that at? U.S. military gifts arms, ammunitions, aircraft to Taliban as it leaves Afghanistan. Right here, Iran paid Taliban bounties to attack American airbase. So, as you can see, this is called World War III. And all the armies of the world are being gathered in the valley of Jehoshaphat. I will gather, who's I? God, Yahweh, will gather the armies of the world into the valley of Jehoshaphat. And what's going to happen after that, subsequent to that? Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. Here's the one you call Jesus. And I beheld, and lo, that man, who is that man? It's the one you call Jesus, waxed strong with who? The thousands of heaven. There's the angels. Okay. And after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together. Who was gathered? I will also gather all nations. The nations were gathered by who? God gathered them. And here's what's going on right here. And after this I beheld, I looked, and look, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of heaven to subdue the men that came out of the sea. After they found out that they were being ambushed, they came together. Right here. This is 2nd Ezra 13 and 33. And when all the people hear his voice, every man shall in their own land leave the battle they have, one against another. They stopped fighting. Let's put World War III on hold right now because we have bigger fish to fry. And then they tried to fight against the angels in Yahushua. And an innumerable multitude shall be gathered together, as thou sawest them, willing to come and overcome him by fighting. All right? 31. And one shall undertake to fight against another. This is World War III. One city against another, one place against another, one people against another. That's all World War III. And then here's the ambush. And one realm. The angels are going to come out of the fourth, fifth dimension into the third dimension to do this. All right, so that's the update for today. I hope that the elect were edified. Some exciting times that we're in right now. With that, we can say shalom.